So hi there, just want to talk to you a little bit about refining the animation. So we've got the prototypes completed. In terms of refinement, it was down to things like the shading of the characters, the lighting of the set. Also importing the audio changed the animation in terms of trying to match it up and work with it. Lastly, I suppose developing a storyboard so we could refine all the different elements to match the storyboard as well. Just to move on, in terms of the refinement, there were changes to the shaders for plutonium and titanium. So they're now actually Lambert shaders, just to make the characters look more three-dimensional. I've also now used things like ray tracing to allow it to form shadows and reflections within the materials. So it just gives it a bit more of a glossy, kind of polished look. The only thing with ray tracing is to bear in mind is the rendering time will increase. So obviously if you are using ray tracing, then just use it within caution. I've also tweaked the animation curves, so that's for things like animating the characters, and set up layers for each of the characters within Maya. And lastly, what I did is made the decision to change the floor texture, so now it's kind of more of a rounded shape, which is more in keeping with the shape and form of the stage, so that works a little bit better. So let's now take a look in Maya. I'm just going to open Maya now, so I look at one of the scene files. As you can see, we've got two of the characters there. Silver has been rigged by our man Dean, great rigger, and as you can see, we can move the character around. We can select any of these controls, which really help the animator, and you can animate these and keyframe them. So it makes my job a lot easier in terms of the movement of the character and the keyframing. Okay, so there we go. And for the nickel character, obviously we have deformers in there, so as before, the character can deform with squashes and bends. So if I just press the play or just scroll through, for a start, as you can see, there's some animation there, the character moving, dancing. Whoa! So yeah, get into the groove. If I just right click and I go to sound, I'm just going to bring in the sound. So as you can see at the bottom in the timeliner, there's the sound, and you can scroll through it and it'll play it. So you can actually keyframe or try and keyframe speech, anything like that, and sync it. So it's really useful in terms of doing things like that. If I press play now, so yeah, so there's the music. Get into the groove. You can see the characters dancing around, moving, and like I say, the controls are excellent to use. It should make your life quite easy. Just in terms of keyframing, obviously if we go to the graph editor, you can see for the head there's the keyframes. So at any time we can actually manipulate these within the graph editor and change them. Likewise, any other things that we keyframe, like the shoulder or the elbow, or the keyframes appear. So that's just an opportunity to actually manipulate and change the movement at any time. So about three of the characters are rigged, the others obviously, some have got deformers, some have got jiggle deformers, so everything's keyable within the characters. So just use the graph editor to manipulate your movements. Now just in terms of the actual set design, I'm just going to go to this file, scene file, and just look at the ray tracing really. So what I've done for this particular scene file, and this is set and characters ray tracing within the folders, I've actually switched on ray tracing, as you can see. So once I've switched that on, really that's where we get the things like the reflections within the floor and also the shadows of the actual characters.